Hey everybody, Jason here, and welcome to another episode of Driver's Paddock. Today we're at MTech Auto. We'll be doing an oil change on my friend's TT RS, after which we'll head over to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park DDT track for me to track review this car. Stay tuned to see what my thoughts are on the 2019 TT RS as a track car. Let's go. Okay, we are in my friend Sean's TT RS, and well, he loves this car, and he owns many cars. If you've seen my Mini GP review, the Mini GP is also his, so he's got some really good taste in cars. He used to have an E36, he has a few Miatas, but also looking to buy an M2 competition, so let's see how his car is. Perfect. Thank you. TT RS. Here we go. Is this thing an understeer plowing monster? Or is it going to rotate? That is really the question that I'm after. I know it has a lot of straight line speed. Oh, wow. Has a lot of power right off the bat. Wow. Oh, there's a Radical behind me. Let's go ahead and let him by as soon as we can. Oh my god, this thing has a lot of power. Alright, TTRS Mosport DDT. Oh, a lot of power. More power than my M2 for sure. Holy cow, this thing's fast. Okay, I'm keeping up with some fast drivers and radicals here. Little bit of understeer, but very manageable. There's that little bit of understeer there. On power actually corrects it. Again, we're keeping up with radicals here. There's some good rotation under trail braking. Let's give them a gap. They're not going to let me pass. Okay, let's go. Let's do a fast lap here. Down to third, in, touch the curve, take it straight. Throw it in. It does kick out a little bit, but as soon as you get on power, it straightens right back up. Throw it in. Understeer a little bit there. On power, claws it out. You can feel the brakes working a little bit here. I think it's called the XDS. Trail braking a little bit, rotates a bit, good, not bad. rotate a little, point and shoot. Good rotation there. Just gotta do it on the brakes or really aggressively throw it in, one or the other. All over this radical now. The radical is faster than this car in a straight line. This car is quite playful though, actually. It does rotate quite well. Like there. Yeah, I'm surprised this radical is just as fast, if not faster, in a straight line. Power is just rocket ship out of the corners. A little bit of trail braking to get the rear end to come around. Car handles the curves no problem. Not bad. All right, let's get it to rotate in the kink here. Come in, we're gonna do it on the brakes here. Throw it in, get it to rotate. On power, straightens it out right away. And a rocket ship out. Very interesting. You gotta drive it in a very specific way. Let's do one more lap. One last one. Let's see how sideways it can really get. Hard on the brakes, rotate it with trail braking, good, straight, use that power. Good, we'll try to get it to rotate a little bit here, throw it in. Throw it in, I'm trying to unsettle it a little bit. As soon as you get on power, it straightens out. Like immediately, instantly. Alright, trail brake a little bit here to get it to rotate. Last lap there. Let's cool her down. I mean, my biggest initial impression is that it's a rocket ship out of corners, right? And you can get it to play a little bit of understeer on entry. On power, it has a little bit of understeer, but you can get it to rotate no problem. And it just straightens out like this as soon as you get back on the power. Quite interesting. On the brakes, you can really get it to rotate. Like here, I throw it in on the brakes, I really get it to rotate, and I just get back on the power, right? It's amazing how quickly it straightens back up though. I wish you would have let me play around, like get a little bit of throttle steer, but because of the all-wheel drive, I think it's a little bit more front bias. It just straightens out the car right away. But Oh, this thing's a hoot. This thing's a lot of fun. It's really fast. Wow. So everybody, we are in Sean's Audi TT RS, and I forgot to mention earlier that this car has few mods. It has these beautiful Advent GT rims, it has 034 fixed camber top plates. It has 245 square tires, as well as brake pads and fluids. And so this gives you an idea of what a basic track prep TT RS would do, would perform, how it would perform. And so I want to start off by saying that every car has its unique personality, and engine layout matters, the drivetrain matters, and you need to really appreciate every car for what it is. What does it have going for it? For example, I'm not going to expect a Subaru BRZ to have a ton of power, right? You know, it's going to have really good entry speeds, it's going to have really good mid-corner speeds, it's going to carry a lot of speed through those phases of the corner, but it's not going to have a really crazy exit because it just doesn't have the power to really rocket ship out of corners like a car like this one can. And so the TTRS, first off, I love it. It looks really, really good in this cabin. It is a really good place to be. There's no big center console. It's really simple. I love how the dials and the controls are integrated into the vents for the AC and for the heat. I love the steering wheel. I love the size. I love the shape. I like how the start-stop button is on the steering wheel. It just gives me a really race car sort of vibe. I love the center screen as well. I love how the tachometer works. I love how everything's integrated and extremely simple, user-friendly. I love these seats. I love how the bolstering comes in. It fills up with air and really hugs you. I had no problems on track. I love the diamond stitching, the blue stitching. I love the carbon fiber accents. And I really like how the TT looks. And as a all-round car for all 4 seasons, I can't imagine a better all-rounder car. And you know, it is a little bit compromised on track, I'll say. So let's talk a little bit about that. And the reason I say that is, think about this car. It has a hall deck system, right? It is front bias, and a lot of people say yes, it can send 100% of its torque to the rear tires, but that's in a zero grip environment for the front. That will basically never happen on track, and so really it is a front bias system. And so you're not going to get a few things, right? You're not going to get those big, huge, long slides, that power oversteer that you would get from, say, something like a high horsepower rear-wheel drive car like a BMW M2. They're just different cars, and you need to appreciate every car for what it is, right? And this car has really an amazing motor. The 5-cylinder sounds amazing. It pulls all the way to redline. The transmission is super smooth. You just put it in drive. Again, super smooth driving to and from the track. On track, the downshifts are crisp and fast. The upshifts are also really, really fast as well. And so that drivetrain package is amazing. And being an all-wheel drive car with that front bias, like, you need to sort of change how you drive a little bit, right? Because it is front bias, you need to manage the front end on the entry phase of the corner. If you go too fast, if you carry too much entry speed, of course it's going to understeer, right? And the benefit of this setup is that it has amazing exits. It's literally a rocket ship from the apex out, and so you need to maximize that. Another way to drive it is if you really throw the car in aggressively, get it to rotate, get it to point the direction you want to go. But like I say, when I'm driving, as soon as you get on the power, the car straightens out immediately. And so you have to be patient. You have to manage the front end or get the car rotated. And so if I were to set up this car, if I were to own this car, perhaps I would maybe even run a reverse stagger. 265 in the front, 245 in the rear, just get a little bit more rotation. Play around with tire pressures. Bring the tire pressure delta up in the rear compared to the front. Or maybe put in a really big sway bar in the rear to just get it to rotate. But as soon as you get on the power in this car, again, it'll straighten out. And so that it's a lot of fun doing that, right? And so a lot of people complain that, you know, the TTRS is not a good track car because it can't power oversteer or whatever. You have to appreciate it for really what it is. And again, a front bias all-wheel drive car is not going to have those big slides, but it does, again, have those amazing exits. And so this car is great. I really, really enjoyed driving it. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the aesthetics. I enjoyed just being in the cabin. I enjoyed driving it. The steering is not bad. The brakes were really, really good, of course, with the upgraded pads and fluids. But again, this gives you an idea of what a mildly track prepped TT RS would be like on track. So everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.